Hello and welcome to a Star Citizen Alpha 3.14.0 live patch notes video, diving into all the changes that the patch has brought. 3.14 has a new planet, Crusader, along with the landing zone, Orison. This is comprised of a latticework of platforms suspended mid-atmosphere above that gas giant. Orison is considered one of the more picturesque locations in Stanton, along with the addition of multi-layered clouds here. So this is volumetric clouds of varying scale within planetary atmospheres that have been added here. It is version 1, primarily for this gas giant, but it is still getting updates and updated, this gas giant gas cloud tech, and is going to be used for much more in the future, like weather clouds and other planets. But that Orison location is pretty in-depth, with lots and lots of locations and shops to experience and purchase things from. A shopping centre, there's the obviously Habs where you spawn in normally, there's a hospital there, though not fully operational, it's still partially operational. In the future you'll see things like the showroom open up and then be able to buy all of the Crusader ships there, but that's not there beyond the actual just front of the building. There are 3 major platforms there to explore. The August Dunlow Spaceport, which is where you spawn your ships and land effectively. The Provenance platform, that's where you do your sort of cargo stuff. That's where cargo missions would be. That's where you buy and sell commodities. And then you've got Cloudview Centre, which is beautiful. There's gardens, there's a shopping centre. It's where you spawn at Green Circle. There's bars, there's food, there's a load going on there. Have a look around. And little Crusader shuttles will take you from platform to platform, and basically that's the train network there. And there are even lots of other little platforms that you can land on and explore around the area, along with cargo sort of freighters which will fly around too, which you can also land on and have a look around. But they've added more places around. So New Babbage, the Brentworth Care Centre there, the hospital there, has started to be built out. It's only the hospital lobby, but they're also remodelling the Aspire Grand lobby to accommodate the expansion as well. We have the addition of the RSI Constellation Taurus that is now newly flyable, and the last Constellation variant to be put in game. Maybe there'll be more in the future, but at least the last one we were waiting on. It's not available to purchase in-game yet. It is purchasable on the website at the moment. There's a sale on, but it is flyable in-game now. The Rock DS is available to purchase in-game as well now at Lorville, but the Cyclone MT is not yet available. That was released in the last major patch, but is not yet purchasable in-game. The radar scanning and pinging system have been overhauled. Radar is used passively to locate and track targets and display their whereabouts to the player. Scanning is used to obtain information about a specific entity. Pinging actively finds additional contacts or highlights volumes of space to investigate where weak signatures may be. Blobs are generated when an entity signature strength is strong enough to reach the radar, but not strong enough to otherwise be detected as a contact. These blobs are visually divided into cuboids and can indicate a volume of space to investigate. They've also increased the detection range of mineable rocks. We now have Power Management V2. This is huge. There's a big combat, flight, and weapon rebalance in 3.14, which is huge. And this is part of it. This rebalanced the existing power system and integrated capacitors into it. Players now have the ability to manage the amount of extra energy that goes into thrusters, weapons, and shields. These changes are reflected in the updated UI and HUDs. Power triangles will now directly affect the function of shields, energy weapons, and thruster boost. You can do this with the F keys, F5, 6, 7, and reset with F8. Put more power into each of the systems. With the new additions to capacitor gameplay comes a wide rework to ship flight and thruster handling, shield behavior, and weapon damage and ammo counts. This full rework on ships brings them closer to their intended roles in the universe. At least that's what Cloud Imperium say. So weapon fire rates and damage have been increased dramatically, ammo rates have been significantly reduced, and energy weapons now have limited ammo. So that's not entirely true that they have limited ammo, because they automatically regenerate ammo when the weapon is not being used. And when they talk about ammo rates being significantly reduced, well, we're talking about ballistic weapons. So ballistic weapons deal significantly more damage now, but ammo is extremely limited. Ballistic ammo will no longer restock when claiming a ship after destruction. Ballistics are not affected by power management either, and power management of the systems, so when you're putting more power into your weapons, all of your different energy weapons, they divide that power between them. But putting more power to weapons will give you more ammo capacity for your energy weapons. But if you only had one energy weapon, you'd have a lot more than if you had 3 energy weapons. They'd have to divide some of that ammo between themselves, if you see what I mean. Manned turrets and multi-crew is a lot more powerful in this patch as well. Manned turrets have isolated weapon capacitor systems, which will regenerate weapons faster and provide a deeper pool for ammo capacity there. There is a full balance rework on shields size 1 and 2, turning them into bubble-type shields with a single shield face. Size 2 shields have a huge amount more health than size 1 shields. They temporarily removed hardening as well. Size 3 shields have a huge amount more health than size 2 shields. So heavy fighters will be using size 2 shields. Lighter fighters will be using size 1. Some ships can obviously have multiple shields, which then sort of add their stats together effectively. And size 3 shields are used for larger ships. And larger ships have a lot of health and a lot of shield. Shields are currently all the same within each size category though, and they will be balanced later. So in other words, there's no shield variance beyond shield size at the moment. Afterburner has been changed to boost and added a separate rechargeable pool of energy shown on the UI. Changing power assignment to the thrusters will make the thruster boost bar fill up faster and actually use less boost as well. I've got a video going over all of the different nuances to the new power system and capacitors, which I'll chuck down below. 3.14 also adds the new missile operator mode. This will be used separately to the gun and traditional conventional weapons with ships. So using this mode will give pilots the control over missiles on torpedoes what are fired, but you lose access to your traditional ordnance. You can access the missile operator mode with middle mouse button. Missiles will automatically begin locking onto any target that you currently have. The lock process is no longer binary. The longer you lock something for, the better the lock becomes. If the missile's target isn't fully resolved before launch, it will simply dumb fire that missile forward. Missiles will now use the IFCS guidance system and control, so this will improve missiles' performance and tracking abilities, enabling greater control over general missile behaviors. With the changes to ship combat and ammo counts, the rate of pickups in Arena Commander has been reduced and are no longer specifically connected to kills. Players must now get a given score to unlock a pickup that will spawn on their next kill. So this is approximately 3 to 4 kills. Fuel pickups have been removed as well because they serve no purpose. Law and prison updates. So they removed the trespass zones from underground facilities. Destroying a party member's empty vehicle no longer results in a crime. They've updated the prison code entry interface to prevent it from being reset on failed attempts to stop a bug that would cause it to no longer accept codes. Crimes for assaulting a security officer should no longer be given outside of a monitored zone. Knockouts no longer kill or counters kills. The ability to surrender has also been added with this sort of law system V2 that they've added. This allows players to be arrested without losing their life. Pretty important when they eventually add death of a spaceman mechanics, but players will be able to surrender by coming to a halt, powering down their ship when ordered by security, and power off, bam. Surrendering will give a player a reduced sentence when sent to prison, but they are not enabling you currently to surrender to other players. That will come later. There are prettier thruster effects as well in this patch, with the ability for IFCS thruster wind volumes to affect ground materials like dust and snow more accurately, and introduce new dynamic effects when flying low near planet surfaces. They have added several new graphics settings in options for volumetric clouds, scattered objects, and tessellation, and they've added new display options for party nameplates. There were a lot of major bug fixes in this patch, and some of the more important ones I will highlight here. Player friends list should no longer be capped at 50 players. They fixed an issue causing purchased carryable items to disappear after they were placed or dropped on the ground. Quantum travelling to a party member close to a planet surface should no longer fly you through the planet and kill you. Mars Eckhart should now function correctly and update his missions. In fact, a lot more missions are much more accessible, working, and will progress when you start doing them. They sort of don't break in the same way, or they don't break at all. Ships should restock and resupply properly at stations. When you throw a grenade, it should no longer have a chance to reappear in your hand. They fixed an issue where players could not fire an FPS weapon directly after reloading or switching. Underground facility turrets should no longer be missing, and they fixed 8 client crashes, 5 server crashes, and a server deadlock, and they made multiple back-end service stability fixes and optimization. The game still has many known issues, with the most important ones being, in my opinion, quantum drive breaks. Sometimes your quantum travel drive will just break or start for no reason. Delivery missions at Area 18 can not be completed because they don't accept your package there. Elevators, especially at Grimhex, can break. Players can get stuck in hammerhead turrets. Medpens sometimes fail to heal, and various connection issues. And there is positional desync to some extent. It seems to be erratic, though. Sometimes I experience a lot. Sometimes I experience none of it. And I'm interested to know your experiences with positional desync in 3.14, or like AI just stop moving, or players not being where they're supposed to be. There is a known issues page with workarounds too, and you can do a character reset if you've tried everything else, though that's more of a nuclear option, and I wouldn't do that unless it's specifically told to me to do by one of these sort of workarounds, like, if you've tried all this, then nuke. I'll link the article below though so you can read. There was not a persistence reset for this patch, so you should have your items, ships, and Alpha UEC from 3.13 carried over, and potentially even your reputation. Now, me and Zin are working on a known issues and workarounds video, so for 3.14, so that should help a lot of people have the best possible experience in 3.14. And that's really it for 3.14's patch notes and a little bit of a summary of this patch in a bit more detail. But wait, there's actually more, and they aren't in the patch notes for some reason. So we've got new events which are going to be happening through the 3.14 cycle. We have the Ninetales lockdown, which will be run every so often. So this is going to be beyond 3.14, this is going to be beyond 3.15, it's going to keep on happening, potentially for the lifetime of the game? Question mark? I mean, it might evolve somewhat, but basically, Ninetales Lockdown, it will appear on your Moby-Glass as a mission, and you can go and decide to help the Ninetales, who are the pirates, or Crusader Security, around a space station, which will basically be in quantum lockdown, so you won't be able to quantum travel around that area, and there might be some other stuff going on, but you'll either have to defend a ship if you're on the lawful side that's scanning down, trying to work out where this sort of quantum blockade, what's happening, what ship is causing the quantum blockade, while the Ninetales are trying to destroy that ship, basically, and then that event will evolve from there, but it should be going on a lot throughout 3.14 cycle. We also have Xenothreat Remastered, so they are reworking the Xenothreat event and updating it for the new sort of systems and just making it better. And we're getting that at some point during the 3.14 cycle. These events are probably some of the most exciting things for 3.14, but I'm interested to know what you think. Like, are you loving Orison? I think it's the most beautiful location, but I'm interested to know what you think. What about the combat changes, the capacitor changes, the power updates? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Are they broken? Is 3.14 broken? Are you looking forward to the events? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below.
Mummy, I'm going to play Star Citizen when I get home. Well, little Timmy, you can't because hackers stole our house.
This is a story I hear only too often. It was just one day before these two were going to get NordVPN. Now they have to live on the streets. Don't let that be you. Get NordVPN in the links below. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For August, we are giving away a Mercury Star Runner, the fantastic multi-crew hauler data mission runner, allowing you to do a little bit of everything the Star Citizen has to offer. To be in for a chance of winning that, comment on any of my videos made during the month. More details in the links below. If you'd like to further support the channel, consider becoming a channel member. The join button down below, you'll get some exclusive videos and content each month, and it really does help us keep going. There is also the new thanks button under my videos for another way of throwing money at us. Both me and Zin appreciate all the support for the channel. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the verse.